You recognize him? This is a statue of St. Ambrose, patron saint of beekeepers. The statue belongs to Beatrice Salazar. At least it belonged to her back in 1982. That dried blood there belonged to her husband, Miami drug lord Humberto Salazar. The theory goes Humberto Salazar fell in love with a beautiful teenage prostitute he plucked off the streets of Mexico City. She got the house, the car, and the drug empire. He got St. Ambrose to the head. At the time, nobody could find any physical evidence to tie Salazar to her husband's murder, but obviously, we've come a long way since 1982. And that's where you guys come in. Salazar's grandstanding when she showed up the other day was just for show. Her DNA has been on file for a while.
What are these white, pasty flecks?
Adhesive from an evidence locker sticker. I just need you guys to pull her DNA off this statue. And if you can, that's the ball game. We've got her for murder.
Nothing to collect here. Nice job. Now let's run the sample.
Wait, what's going on?
I'm not sure. Somehow, proteins got denatured, cooked.
They're useless. Son of a bitch. What the hell happened?
It doesn't make any sense. The concentration of sodium lauryl sulfate is way too high. But I was standing right there beside you. I saw you prepare the sample correctly.
Damn it, I can't believe this. I'm taking this statue back into my custody, and I'm going to make a formal request to the deputy director and to your sheriff that an investigation be immediately conducted into the CSI's possible malfeasance. Mr. Stokes, I would suggest you take this matter into your own hands before it brings down this entire lab. Tell me something. Are you just incompetent, or did you just deliberately destroy potential evidence?
I know this sounds crazy, but I think Agent Huntby set us up. I think he deliberately set us up so that we would consume that potential DNA sample in analysis. And he wanted us to take the fall for it. Catherine, we gotta get our hands back on that statue. We need to analyze whatever trace is on it, and we have to figure out what the hell's going on with Huntby.
Huntby just left the building, and he took the statue with him. I'll notify the FBI field office. See if they can help us. I think Nick is right. And I'll do everything in my power to get that statue back here and have you retest it. But until we can get this thing totally resolved, I think it's best for the credibility of the lab if I keep you off any cases pertaining to Beatrice Salazar. I understand you have another case you're handling right now. I recommend the two of you keep working on it. So, walk me through this again.
Okay. We used a moderate concentration of sodium lauryl sulfate to lyse the cell walls.
Okay. Cell walls open up, allowing us to extract the genetic material inside and prepare it for DNA analysis.
Exactly. Except this time, for some reason, there was a much higher concentration of SLS than we normally use. So when the sample was hydrated in preparation for our DNA analysis, the water and the high concentration of SLS produced a chemical reaction that gave off enough heat to raise the temperature of the water way above 80 degrees Celsius.
Which would have denatured the protein and destroyed the viability of the sample. Agent Huntby is claiming you incorrectly prepared the lysing solution by adding too much SLS.
Catherine, with all due respect to Agent Huntby, I was standing right there when it all went down. The solution was prepared correctly. Now, as we were swabbing the sample, I did notice a trace amount of some sort of pasty substance on the back of the statue. So I asked Agent Huntby about it. And he said it was just some glue residue from an identification tag.
You know, you can create a paste with sodium lauryl sulfate, concentrated enough to have that reaction when hydrated.
It's Brass. I finally tracked down the judge and got him to review and sign our search warrant for John Barrett's bedroom. It's a go.
Brass had a hell of a time getting this search warrant. Let's not waste it. Stay sharp. This guy may be rich, but lucky for us, he obviously doesn't pay for a daily maid service. Look what we have here. Cosmetic fingernail, which looks as though it's fallen off, and taken a bit of the real nail with it. Parts of the job, right? The man likes his shoes. Mud on the shoes looks like it hasn't dried. It's fresh. Dirty job, but somebody's got to do it. Hopefully we'll be able to recover some usable DNA. If we're lucky, we'll find out if she had a partner. The tread of this shoe is the same size and pattern as the shoe impression we collected from the crime scene. I gotta say, it doesn't look so good for John. Well, hello. It's always the naughty nurse, right? Not only does Pauline Lou have a work card because she's been a dancer at various gentlemen's clubs around town, but she also has an arrest for solicitation on her record. Looks like John and Nurse Lou didn't want us to know about their little relationship. Do you want to tell Brass, or should I? Looks like John and Nurse Lou didn't want us to know about their little relationship. Do you want to tell Brass, or should I? That sample may allow us to positively identify who the nail belongs to. Okay, so, not only is Nurse Lou a stripper with a rap sheet, she lied to us about the fake fingernail.
What do you got in the way of evidence? Pauline Lou and John Barrett were lovers. Great. So I'd call that motive, wouldn't you? So let me get this straight. John Barrett stands to inherit a fortune. His girlfriend, the nurse, provides him with an alibi, and lucky for her, vice versa. And on top of that, her intimate knowledge of the regulator unit gives the kid a great big opportunity for murder.
Looks like John Barrett doesn't seem too interested in providing an alibi for anyone, including Pauline Lou.
Okay, let's not tip our hand here. If we try and talk to John Barrett first, his lawyers might circle him and the nurse. But if we call the nurse in here first, then maybe she'll be willing to make a deal and give up her boyfriend.
I'm very confused by this situation. I've tried to be very cooperative. Have I done something wrong? Well, like I told you before, I chipped a nail and replaced it with this one I have on. And I've had it on all week. Why are you asking?
Pauline, we found your DNA on a cosmetic fingernail.
Oh, that's right. You know what? When I first broke my nail, I put on a different replacement. But I didn't apply it right, so then I put this one on. In fact, I didn't even put this one on. The woman who does my nails did. But I don't see why any of this matters, because that was all like a week ago. Why are you asking me that? I'm a registered nurse, and Mr. Barrett hired me to provide hospice quality care to his sister.